Welcome to Let's Play Slime Rancher. This is an FPS developed by indie devs Monomi Park, where instead of killing monsters, we suck them up into a vacuum, lock them in a pen, and get rich off their poop. Does that sound nice to you guys?
You forgot about the fucking.
And a little bit of
How could you forget about the fucking?
It's very important.
that. I'm joined on this LP by the incomparable and incomprehensible Jiggly Jacob.
That's me.
And Let's Playing and Streaming Zone, omnipresent, torpid typist.
Yo.
Oh lordy. So, this is a very cute game, very fun game, relatively small, but they're always adding new stuff to it. This character right here is actually ARC player character Beatrix.
Oh, I've never seen her before.
You don't normally see her, we only see her on the title screen and when we go into our house. But there are 3 game modes. We're gonna play on Adventure, that's a standard game mode. Casual is the same as Adventure, only there aren't any enemies. And 5 Day Rush is a challenge mode. I'm gonna be saving that for like a stream or something. I'm gonna try to do that before they completely overhaul it. They're planning to replace it with an updated version in the future. I wanna at least try out the current version before that happens.
Can't believe you didn't pick the constipated looking chicken.
We'll see plenty of those chickens.
Oh, they're great. But yeah, this game is aggressively cute and I love the hell out of it.
It is very cute.
Planet known as the Far, Far Range.
But this is our story. There is actually sort of a story to this. Our character, Beatrix, she went into hypersleep for an entire year, got flung across the galaxy to a place called the Far, Far Range. It's a planet inhabited entirely by slimes, and she's gonna find her fortune here. And I thought, you know what? Fuck the first day.
Just, we've come to this strange new planet, so let's colonize it and exploit its resources.
Yep.
Well, explain why this happened?
Okay, so that ocean is not an ocean. That's all slime. And the thing is, you cannot swim in slime, so you just sink to the bottom. Anytime you get knocked out, either by falling into the slime ocean, or you completely lose your health, like you take too much damage, you get knocked out, and then the game cycles to the next day. Most likely it'll actually cycle 2 days, like if it's 6 at night, you waste so much time. Try not to get killed.
Well, my initial question is, why did you do that?
I thought it would just knock me out. I forgot that it wasted an entire day.
Well, I mean, that doesn't entirely answer my question, but we'll leave it at that.
I'll just say there was an achievement for it, and pretend that was the reason.
Got it.
Sure.
But this is the basic gameplay of the game. There are a bunch of slimes all over this place. There's several different types. Here on the ranch, we can set up pens, just keep the slimes in there. We have a vacuum pack that sucks up the slimes. We have 4 containers for it. It can hold either slimes or food or their plorts, which is basically their poop. We get it by feeding them.
It is poop.
It is poop, but it's like guano. It's poop that's worth a lot. It's not used for fertilizer. We have a thing up to the side here. We're getting a bunch of information. Mostly it's like the tutorial what have you, but we also get information whenever we suck up something new. We have a slime journal, which gives us a bunch of details, including stuff that the slime plorts are actually used for. Apparently, there's a slime later that's basically used as drugs for athletes.
What?
Good, I'm glad there's deep, rich poop lore.
There's a lot of deep, rich poop lore.
Glad there's steroid slime.
Just horking down some slime poo to get better at sport.
But there are 3 different types of food in the game. Carrots are a type of vegetable, obviously. There are fruits, like the poga fruits, and hens are meat. There's only really hens and roosters, but they all count as general meat. The pink slimes here are the only slimes that will eat anything. Later slimes only eat specific things, so that's why there's that distinction. And the pink slimes, as a result of that, their plorts aren't worth as much. It's the first day, and you might have seen from the slime market, all the plorts have different prices. As the days go by, as you sell more plorts, the prices might go down. If you miss a day, the prices might go up. But no matter what, pink plorts aren't going to be worth as much. But still, there's so many of them at the start that you want to get as many as you can before the first midnight so you can get some good money building up.
I appreciate that these pink slimes are such good sports, because you keep slamming them upside the fucking head with carrots.
Sports?
That's how you feed them.
I'm aware, but you're not feeding them, you're just smacking them with carrots. There's a difference.
Well, they don't have skulls. It just falls into their brainium.
Now you can sort of tell how hungry a slime is by their expression. Right here, when their mouths are wide open and they're just ecstatic, that means they're completely full. When I fell into the ocean and the day started over, the slimes on the ranch, they looked like they were drooling. That means they're just straight up starving. Basically, the happier they are, the more fed they are. The sadder they are, the hungrier they are. Every corral has a bunch of upgrades. The hungrier the slimes are, the more of these upgrades you're really going to need to keep them in the pen. The high walls help with that. That's going to be the first upgrade. The air net helps a lot because there are slimes that can fly or jump really high, and that'll keep them in. It does have sort of a health, but generally the slimes won't break it down. There's also a bunch of additional locations we can add to our ranch later. 2 of them are sort of doubles of locations in the game world. The grotto here is based on a place called the Indigo Quarry. It's the requisite mining rock location. And every expansion has extra places for corrals and what have you. Here's something you definitely want to save up for, the lab.
Whoa, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money because there's a lot you do there. That's where we develop gadgets. Most of the gadgets are just used to get resources to build other gadgets, but you actually need to build at least 10 of them before you can get something called a treasure cracker. There are pods throughout the game world with treasure in them, and you can't unlock that. It's a type of upgrade like these, but you can't unlock that until you've developed a bunch of gadgets. The backpack upgrades, generally just stuff for yourself, like increased capacity for the pack, and also a jetpack, which is very useful. You're going to need that just to get through most of the areas.
I remember the jetpack being, like, really ass, actually, from other things I've seen. They must have updated it.
It starts out ass, is the point. You need to keep upgrading it.
I look forward to spending all that money to do just experiments of questionable legality on slimes. Look, nobody will prosecute you. You're out here on, like, the outer rim. Nobody's gonna come for your ass.
I picked up a chickadoo. That's the baby version of the hens. Slimes will not eat chickadoos. They will only eat the adults.
They're not monsters.
Look at this big buddy.
Oh my goodness, he's huge.
This powerful boy.
He's a Gordo. He's 10 pink slimes combined together. He's just gonna sit here and wait for you to feed him. Because the pink slimes can eat anything, that Gordo needs to be fed 30 of anything. And then he will explode into his individual slimes and then give us something, including slime keys, which we need to unlock new areas. There are later specific types of Gordos. You need to feed them 50 of something. But that's because those slimes have a favorite type of food. When you feed them their favorites, you get 2 of their plorts. For example, the tabby slimes. These are probably the most popular slimes, because, of course, they are.
Yes, they are.
Ah, yes, the furry slime.
They're so cute.
But then there's pink tabbies, because you can combine slimes.
Yes, you can. Those are Largos. That's just what happens when a slime eats a plort of a different type of slime. Be careful, though. If a Largo eats a 3rd different type of slime, they turn into this game's enemy, the tar.
Really?
And then they eat everything, yes.
Oh, that's disappointing. I wanted, like, some kind of, like, 5-way mutant slime. Well, I mean, I guess that's what the tar is, so...
Because I remember back when I actually saw this game, they hadn't implemented that yet, so it was just, they couldn't eat it.
It's also the case in casual mode. There are no tars in that. But the tabby slime, their favorite is a specific type of hen, and if you were to feed them that hen, they would drop 2 of their plorts. How we make money is we basically turn all of our slimes on the ranch into Largos. Largos, their favorites, are both types of slimes' favorites. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine these rock slimes with the tabby slimes. Rock slimes, their favorites are what's called heartbeats. It's a beat shaped like a heart. It's a pretty basic pun, but their favorites will also be that other type of hen and heartbeats. That's sort of a good way to save money as well.
I mean, also importantly is when you feed a Largo, you get poop from both of its combined slimes.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's just more bang for your buck anyway.
Here's an example of a place where we're going to need a slime key. That location is a quarry, and there's some pretty interesting new slimes in there.
Yes.
We will get to there. As you can see, right now our maximum for the backpack is 20 of each. So there's going to be a lot of going back and forth with that until we upgrade it. So first day, pink plorts are worth 14, which is pretty nice. But as we can see, the other plorts are worth up to twice as much anyway. So let's get some of the good stuff going here. There are different plots we can do. Garden is where you grow your own crops, which is hugely necessary. A coop is just where you keep hens. You need at least one rooster in there in order for them to breed, but you only really need one. My preference is 2 of each. The pond, one of the upgrades you can do for your backpack is you can hold water, which is one way to fight off tars. Just blasting them with water gets rid of them. But also, there's a type of slime called a puddle slime, which can only inhabit a pond. So you need that. And in the same case, another plot is an incinerator, where you can destroy excess items if you want. But much later in the game, there's a fire slime, and they can only live in the incinerator.
oh.
So yeah, this game has a lot of detail.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just hanging on one tabby plort. You only need one to convert an entire corral into Largos. Just takes a little while and a lot of food.
Also, another important thing to note is that the price of plorts changes.
Yes.
And while it might not be important at the moment, because you're just dealing with pink, it does become a lot more relevant later on.
Yeah, the plort stock market, man. You gotta watch those futures. Now to the future.
Yeah.
Just doing a bit of exploring.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done. A surprising amount to be done, actually.
Whoa! He's trying to take those, plumpy plumps. Pogo fruit.
So yeah, you cannot suck up Largo slimes. If you try to do that, they just hang onto your backpack. But that's a good way to just kite them around. And also, you can shoot them off into the sky, and they just go flying.
Just send them to the moon. It's fine.
They'll be amongst their people.
Aside from you probably killing them, it's fine. You monster.
I don't know, I feel like these slimes can survive most things.
They pretty much can. In fact, you can launch them into that slime ocean. They will disappear, but supposedly in the game's lore, they just turn up somewhere else.
They just go swimming.
No, I was letting the tabbies do that to me because there's actually an achievement for letting them jump on you. Like, in-game, it's canonically called a boop.
Yay!
It's really cute. They do a little wiggle and then they jump on you, and there's an achievement for that. All the achievements carry over between your saves, and I had done that in the previous save, so I didn't get the achievement there, but that's where I would have gotten one.
You scared me.
So did I. But no, it's a secret area.
Yeah, I appreciate you quite obviously realizing, oh wait, oh shit, oh fuck.
That was me realizing, oh wait, I don't have the jetpack yet. Now I remember what I was going to say. When we went into that cavern right before the quarry, there were those angry slimes. One of them is a new type. These guys, the phosphor slimes, they're like fireflies. They only turn up at night. One of the corral upgrades is a solar net. Probably the better thing you should do is just unlock that grotto on your farm, because the phosphors are sensitive to sunlight. When day comes around, they just straight up disappear, so even if they're in your corral, they will go away. But sunlight can't get into that grotto. But those phosphor largos that were really angry and attacking me, those are feral slimes. They turn up in specific locations, and until you feed them, they will try to attack you. But once they're fed, they're fine. The game says they're just hungry.
Look, they're just hungry boys.
Yeah. Feral slimes only turn up in specific locations. They're signified by signs with skulls and crossbones on them. They're not really dangerous, only if you hang around them and let them attack you. Ferals do have a special attack, which is like an AoE blast, and that can do some damage to you, but you can just rush through their locations. They're not really a threat. Now, that's something that only the regular small slimes can do, stacking. Largos will not stack on top of each other, but the little baby ones will. Now here's the problem with rock slimes. They will still attack you. They're not aggressive, but when you get near, they will spin and hurt you. So trying to get their plorts is going to be a chore.
Look, they're just being playful. They just don't realize that it's a problem.
Actually, one cute thing that tabbies do, when they pick up their food, if they're not hungry, they'll just hang onto it and dance around. Like how cats play with their food. That slime is terrified.
Oh, no!
Just these slimes watching on in terror at what you're doing to the other group of slimes.
I think you need to expand this pen a little bit. Ah!
No, it's fine.
Oh, ow! Oh, no!
Thorn might die, but it's fine.
Let me just... Fucking dog pile! Ow, my sternum!
Just these slimes trying to have fun and play with you, and then just spinning on your bloodied corpse. It's fine.
Now, like I said, the tabbies can only eat meat. The rock slimes can only eat veggies, but when you combine them into Largos, they can eat both. That's how you sort of get away with that.
Thought they had to eat meat veggies, or veggie meats. They can only eat tofu, essentially.
No, I haven't combined the pinks with anybody yet. I'm gonna combine them with the phosphors, but I need to get enough money to build a solar net first.
Ah yes, you need to stop being a filthy poor. It's so simple.
But it takes so long. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna set up a garden, because all of my slimes right now can eat veggies, so I'm just gonna grow some carrots. They grow relatively fast. Even the machines look like slimes.
Everything in this game is aggressively cute, aside from the constipated chickens.
They're cute. They're cute too. Shut your mouth. Don't be mean.
Shut your whore mouth, Torpid.
Yeah, don't be mean.
Look, I'm biased, alright? I love slimes, they're great.
I don't need you, I need you.
Hey, buddy. Fucking, like, let me tell you about the fucking phosphorus slimes. How do they fly? A, their bodies are too big for their wings, they're like a bee. And B, those wings are like cardboard. How the hell does this happen? Who allowed this? Oh no!
Meet the tar.
Whoops.
They eat other slimes, and if they eat Largos specifically, they multiply.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to make fun of you.
Luckily, you can just shoot them into the ocean. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, you just shoot into the ocean, and the ocean becomes a giant tar. It's terrifying.
There's actually an achievement for hanging onto one of these and just letting them chew on you for a little while. I think like 10 seconds.
I'm sure it's worth it to fucking Zubelia or whatever her name is.
Beatrix.
Yeah, that's what I said.
She's a very simple name. I don't know how you forgot it.
Beatrix Labo. Oh, got a new upgrade. I haven't upgraded my body at all yet, but when you look down on the bottom left, we have an energy bar. That encompasses both your dash and the jetpack. The dash boots just reduces the amount of energy you use up when you dash.
Wait, so your jetpack runs on personal human stamina?
Pretty much.
That sounds both efficient and inefficient simultaneously.
That sounds disgusting if you think too hard about it.
It's kind of scary.
And here's the stony hen. This is the tabby's favorite type of hen.
Just look at that fucking chicken.
I love it.
Chicken hasn't shit in weeks.
Oh. Look at that. Got doubles.
Oh, sorry, bucko.
I hate being surrounded by rocks. They're so mean.
They're not mean, they're just playful. They don't try to hurt you, they're just dumb as shit.
The tars are some straight out of De Blob, aren't they?
Kinda, yeah.
Who remembers De Blob?
I do.
I do, my sister was actually super into it. Unfortunately.
It's kind of aggressive. Like, when they chomp down on the chicken, they sound horrified. I also like how lazy the name Hen Hen is. Apparently it's because they've been bred to be twice as delicious as regular chickens, which is almost a worse excuse.
Oh no, they're escaping! You need to get a fucking roof on that.
I do.
I mean, scientists aren't exactly known for being creative. Let's just talk about how one species of bear is basically labeled bear bear. Just it's bear in 2 different languages.
Nope, my bag's
Yeah,
the bag's full.
I think it's the brown bear specifically.
Not gonna sell the phosphor plorts yet?
Nope, I need to turn the pinks into phosphor largos.
Ah,
And I have just enough. There, that'll keep them safe. And I do need an air net because obviously they fly. Just sneaking past these dudes. Damn it. You can suck them through the corral.
Better yet, you bounced it out of the corral when trying to shoot it back in.
Yeah.
get back here, Stevis.
The tabbies are the kind that will really try to get out of the pen.
I really wish you could name them.
That would be a lot of names to come up with.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, and you would love them all. Ah,
It's true.
God, she's so cute. I love her.
Just everything in this game is cute. It's great.
We do get mail pretty frequently. We can only read it in our house. A couple of things. The bottom letter there is just sort of an introduction. This letter here from Casey. Casey was actually Beatrix's ex. They have sort of a sweet story that carries on pretty much through the entire game. Casey will infrequently send us letters, just sort of telling us what's going on in their lives. Casey's specifically kept gender neutral. I'm not going to go too much into their story because we'll see it as the LP goes on, but it's pretty obvious that Casey and Beatrix still have feelings for each other, but the two are so different, their lives just went too much in two different directions that the relationship wasn't going to work out. So, as someone who's kind of gone through that, I really relate to that.
Yeah, it's weird seeing in a game that's aggressively cute like this, a sort of realistic depiction of how things can fall apart like that. It's not even something dramatic, it's just these things happen.
Yeah.
Just like, I can appreciate that, like, not every relationship ends with, like, an explosion. No, just sometimes people grow apart.
Yep.
For any number of reasons. In this, a game about adorable slimes, what the hell?
Where did that rock plort come from? It just flew out of there. This is what the start of every day on the ranch looks like. Just going around feeding the slimes, collecting the plorts, selling it. These are your morning chores, and the more slimes you have, the longer it's going to last well past the morning. God damn it.
The danger of having so many Largos is always getting them when trying to vacuum stuff up.
One upgrade I really need to get is the plort collector.
Oh yeah, I was about to bring that up.
That's one of those things that's basically necessary, especially for the rock slimes.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that and the auto feeder are both like a necessity.
The auto feeder is nice because you store food in those, and they will periodically just shoot it into the corral, and the slimes can eat from there, but it also sort of doubles as food storage. Now, we also got a letter from this nice lady. Her name's Thora West. She introduces us to the Range Exchange. It's not the same thing as the market. We'll get letters from 5 characters, and every day one of them is going to ask us for certain items. Who will... Oh, hang on. Important thing.
The special boy!
Oh my god.
Gold slimes! Those guys are super rare, their plorts are super expensive, and you can only really get one. I was very lucky to find that on just day 3.
Yeah, it's a very nice windfall early on.
Wow.
I also appreciate the description, it's really good, which is get rich or die sliming.
But, what I was saying regarding Thora, the exchange is just, people will ask specifically for slimes, plorts, or different types of food. There'll be multiple characters, they'll all prefer certain things. You can get them what they ask. They'll give you money and some extra food, some extra plorts, and what have you. I'll try to get at least one of every character's requests, but I'm not going to focus on it too much.
You know, you gotta respect a game that's so good that they make fetch quests fun.
Yeah. You do have to work it a bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're most of the time things you can just do while you're doing other stuff, which is what's nice.
300, they're called new bucks, 300 new bucks right now.
New bucks, same as the old bucks.
Won't get slimed again. Son of a...
Quit walking in there!
Just get in your face, fuck the hell up, holy crap.
Get like a claw grabber or something. Damn!
Over time, the pink slimes will get greatly overshadowed by the other slimes. But when we unlock the lab, pink plorts are used a lot for gadgets, so they still have use. And also, just because the pink largos can't eat anything, it's basically impossible to let them go hungry. You don't need to specialize with them.
They're good for mixing with like more specialized slimes, so you can just kind of get their plorts whenever. And I do appreciate that they basically say, just put this method of keeping them relevant despite them being the starter slime.
Yeah. Now this little music box, this keeps the slimes calm. I don't know if it prevents them from actively trying to escape, but I do know if slimes get hungry, they will. The music keeps them calm regardless. Also pretty useful for later, more aggressive slimes. And remember our Gordo buddy. Off-screen, I'd fed him 10 of pogo fruit or something, so he just needs 20 more, and then we can make him explode.
Oh no!
You just killed this powerful boy.
Oh my god, there's a ton of babies.
There is.
Ah, box!
Every Gordo will drop boxes. Most of them have keys, some of them will actually have teleporters.
Dude, that was super fun.
Like, they'll just be sitting on them and inhibiting our progress.
Nothing about what you did to those slimes is okay.
They'll survive.
You're still rude as hell.
Just going for a swim, man. Let him rock the bathing suit.
Oh god, now I'm just picturing a slime in a Speedo and it's great.
Just smiling away like, yeah.
Look at it. Look at all of it.
Behold, as I'm wearing more clothes than I was before.
This slime waddling down the runway.
Aw. I'd watch a slime fashion show.
I do not want fan art of that.
I want like cute fan art, like maybe a slime wearing a fancy dress.
Just buried in cloth. You can't see it.
Oh, everyone's like, oh yes, oh this month's fashion, wow.
Luckily, in one of those boxes I found a heartbeat, so I need to set up another garden, and then the rock tabbies will have a pretty easy way to get a ton of plorts from them. These phosphor guys, their favorites are what's called Q-berries. It's a cube berry. And those are a little more rare, at least at this point. Ta-da!
Is that a diamond? Oh no, those are rock slimes. Rock plorts.
Yeah,
Yeah, rock poops.
Ouch.
we've all been there.
And yeah, now if you're looking like pink plorts are in fact 8 whatever money. I already forgot the name.
New bucks.
New bucks, that's it.
They should have just called it gold, like every other game. Now, the thing with the exchange, you have basically until noon of the next day to do the request, and then it just changes over. So even if you're, like, missing one thing, the game just cuts it. But here, finally, plort collector. Oh no, my inventory's full.
Yes.
The plort collector's a little funny. If a slime eats something and produces a plort while the plort collector is active, it won't suck up the plort. You have to press the button again. It's a little strange. I don't know why it doesn't do that. But here.
I mean, also, if they want to name the money and go all in, they should have named it Slimolians.
Slimolians.
Just saying, if you got a theme, you gotta stick with it. It's important.
No, I mean, I agree. I think you should join the dev team, frankly. Oh my god, Victor Humphreys. I love his face.
This man is covered in pink goo, and I'm very worried.
That's because he specifically looks for slimes.
I would never give a slime to that man.
Well, I'm doing it right now.
No, you're not.
Look, the man is covered in quite clearly the remains of a slime. I would never trust that person. Maybe you would, though, because you're a filthy fucking murderer.
Then I want money. Now, throughout the game world, we saw one of them when we left the ranch and went into the dry reef. There are a bunch of these messages left behind by the previous owner of the ranch. I forget his name now, I'll edit it in later. He also sort of has a story arc. As we go through the game, he talks about all the locations, but he also talks about Thora West, the lady we did the exchange with first. He had a relationship with her. Their relationship pretty much directly mirrors Beatrix's relationship with Casey, and it's kind of interesting. Again, deep storytelling by a game like this.
Well, you gotta have that kind of thing that keeps, like, the people who are really into this game more interested. Like, I love these games that are simple at the core, or rather, on the surface, but have a lot of little complexities that you can find out along the way.
No, I appreciate it because it makes the characters themselves more compelling than just some asshole here at the Outer Rim.
Some asshole. Very much an asshole. Stealing all this wildlife.
You're stealing all this wildlife and abusing it for resources.
They're happy.
Well, I mean, question. Can you make these pens wider? Because these are very cramped, boys.
No, you can't.
That's awful.
They will always be very cramped boys, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I made it taller. That's good enough.
Ah yes, now they can jump higher without escaping.
Thorn, if you ever have a house to yourself, and then you realize there's not enough room, just make the ceiling higher. See if that helps.
The Roostro is a game's version of a rooster. An interesting thing with the hens, they will grow older. It takes a really long time, but if you go in your pen, you discover either an elder hen or an elder roostro. That means they're not going to breed anymore. You're going to have to feed them to the slimes.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
An elder hen grown too powerful for your farm.
Kind of the same thing with the fruits and veggies, also. At the start of the LP, when I died, when the day progressed, I went out and explored, and some of the pogo fruit and carrots that were just growing wild had actually turned gray and shriveled up. When I tried to suck them up, they just crumbled into dust. That means they've gone rotten. That just happens when they're lying out on the ground. I think it takes about a day. It might change depending on the fruit and veg, but if you just leave the food in the pen with the slimes, they'll eat when they're hungry, and generally, it won't take long enough for the food to go rotten anyway. Should be fine if you just leave it in the corral.
I like to call it elder food.
Man, I fucking wish my food crumbled and turned to dust when it went rotten.
God, me too.
That'd make my life a lot easier.
But then you'd have to vacuum up all the dust.
Yes, but at least it probably wouldn't smell as bad as just whatever's gone bad in your fridge.
And also right at the end there, you saw that green pod, that's one of the treasure pods. Green is level 1, blue is level 2, and purple is level 3. And yes, you need to buy a new upgrade every time you want to unlock it. Whew, but that was part 1. What are you guys thinking of the game so far?
It's cute.
I like it, even if you are subjugating my people, you son of a bitch.
I could see why you would like it, Thorn, especially since you're such a big Harvest Moon fan. It seems very Harvest Moon.
There is an air of it.
It's a lot more low-key than Harvest Moon, though. Like, it's very basic, but it's fun because of that.
It's a bit more exploratory.
Yeah, it doesn't require as much forethought as much of Harvest Moon might. You go with the flow a lot, and it's better for it.
Yeah, I'd say so. So, join us next time when we build a nuke.
Oh! Yeah!